All right, let's go to work. James, pray us in.
Lord, I'm just grateful you brought these two men plus a whole group of Monday men into my life, because it's just it's changed me. Coming in a program, I found the Lord, and just I love you. And let's see how this goes. Thanks.
Amen.
Amen. Let's go to work.
Welcome back to Recovery Unfiltered. It's Rob and Larry in your ear again. We don't need letters before or after our names, just two drunks with a lot on our brains. Sit back, relax, let us carry the load. We've walked that dark and winding road. We're just two alcoholics with a lot to say. This is Recovery Unfiltered.
Hello, Robert.
I did. That fucker's growed on me.
What's that?
It's a little song,
dude.
I'm gonna use that, and then that's gonna be my gym song.
Dude, I gotta send you the
Get
whole
ready to do
one.
some squats, Katie. I'm gonna play that son of a bitch. Get under the bar.
I gotta send
Flex
you the
up.
whole song.
Looks
The whole song is great. I mean, I could listen to the
You know
whole
what?
thing.
It is. I used to poo-poo. Well,
Really? I do it every day.
I used to
at 6
poo. I used to poo-poo mirrors. You know, I mean, I get, but I have to work out by myself. You know, when I'm bouncing in, and it, as far as form goes, it's second to none. You got to. I do.
Same reason why I listen to myself on these podcasts.
No, it isn't. You
Yes,
listen
it
to
is.
yourself. No,
Motherfucker.
I disagree. That might be like 2% of the reason. The other 98% is just to hear yourself.
His voice, yeah.
I do. I make myself proud. Anyways, that voice is James. But before we get really going here, and I failed to mention that last week was our 2-year anniversary. So we have literally, this is 2 years.
Boy,
I completely
that
forgot.
flies.
I don't know how. I think I was so self-indulged with what we were wanting to talk about that I had forgotten to mention that. I even had it on my show notes that I wanted to talk about it. We dropped our very first one July 7th of 2022.
and that was your story.
And that was my story. Well, it was kind of the introduction of how the podcast got started, and then it was my part. And then that one that was last week, it dropped July 8th.
But
But how'd that work?
Oh,
How'd you
hold
get
on,
a
are you
leap
sure?
year
So
in
hold
there?
on.
Yeah. July 7th. If you go back to Spotify, our very first one is July 7th.
July 8th. You know what happened? You know, it all started July 8th.
What's
in
that?
2020.
What's that?
That was my first radiation and chemotherapy. It was July 8th, 2020.
2020?
Same
oh, wait
day.
a minute. No, our first one dropped in 2024. So July 7th, 2024 is when our first one. And you started radiation?
And chemo, July 8th, 2020.
Wow.
Good times.
Good times, brother. You're high every day.
Yeah.
High every day.
COVID and chemo.
It was fun. Fuck.
That's a great combination. CC's. Hey, so we got James in here. So James, it's been fun watching you roll through this. You know, we've asked you to come on once before, and understandably why. You guys, it was a no, and I understood at the time. And yesterday, and I'm not trying to say it was last minute, which it was last minute, right? Rob and I were just going to do 2 shows back to back, which is fine. I don't mind doing 2 shows with Rob back to back. We do them quite often, and they're fun. But when I heard you responded to me, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's time James gets on here and tells his story. I think this just working.
Especially where he's at right now. Because he has come just like you kind of.
Yes.
You were at a crossroads, but you've made it through it, and so is James.
One of the things you're going to hear James from last week, and James is probably one of our biggest fans. He almost every Wednesday, if the show's late or anything like that,
He might be your biggest fan. He's one of my brothers, so I don't.
He texts me. He texts me and says, "Great show," or him and Jim.
But then
Hart.
again, we did a lot of talking up at when we went to the men's retreat that you didn't go to.
Really, you're gonna
We
keep
were driving
bringing that
together.
shit?
You missed it.
You're gonna keep bringing this shit up.
Logan, James, and
I got a hat for you.
Fuck both you guys. I got a pink hat for you. Take
And
that.
Sam wore some pink shorts. You missed out on those.
Sam needs that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So yeah, we're gonna walk through your story. Like I said, Rob and I are here to help you go through it, and we're just talking. So let's start wherever you want to start at. Right?
Well, I was going to say, Saturday at our morning, you shared, and it was like that hit, and that's why I sent it to you.
Right.
And
we actually, that's what Rob and I just talked about, honestly, prior to this.
I looked at my phone before you're like, hey, And I was like, I already felt like I had to do something, it's
You got to share, man. You got to share.
being open, just getting it out. Cause I've learned, all these years of being quiet. Cause I say, I grew up be seen and not heard.
Right.
Be quiet, suck it up. Don't complain, don't complain. I was always, my brother was the loud one. And I remember telling him, hey, shut up. We're going to get our ass beat by dad. It was like, be quiet, don't talk. And that's, I kind of grew up that way and always keeping it in, and years and years, keeping it in, not talking about it.
Eventually,
boom, explodes.
Pressure.
Explodes. It explodes.
Pressure does what pressure
Absolutely.
does.
Yep.
I'm the same way.
So where'd you grow up at?
Escalon.
Okay. All right.
I think we moved there when I was in when we were in first grade. So
Where'd you move
prior
from?
to that, Modesto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not far. My dad worked at the auction yard there, so we lived there. I never been around cattle before, and I remember our first day moving there. Me and brother on our bikes riding up.
Now, how old were you?
First grade, what,
Were you
5, 6,
5 or 6?
something there.
6.
Yeah.
6.
And he's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
We're like, oh, look at that dirt hill. We started riding up it, and it was a big old pile of cow shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And we sunk in it,
Oh, I bet.
and we're trying to pull our bikes out, come home.
That is
My
hilarious
mom's all,
shit.
you guys ain't coming in. She's out there with the water hosing
Yeah.
cow shit off of us. But yeah, that was our first experience in Escalon and farm town. You know what I mean?
That's perfect.
How did he get a job at the stockyard and you guys had never been in? What did he do at the stockyard?
He was a truck driver.
Oh,
So
okay.
he,
All right.
he
hauled
he
cattle.
hauled cattle and stuff.
Gotcha.
My dad,
Gotcha.
my dad, he was a hard worker.
So it's past tense. He's passed.
Yes, he's passed. He died of cancer when I was 29.
Okay.
And I think it was, it's hard with dates. Then my mom, I think she died, or you guys were talking about, she was on dialysis and had a stroke. We didn't get home, so she was at home for too long. I think you have like a time window.
Yes.
And she had been home for hours. It was just before Easter. And she would take a bus, get dialysis, come home, and she still had her breakfast set next to her, just sitting there, and that's how I found her.
How old were you when that happened?
That was 10 years after. So,
Oh, so you're 39.
Yeah, so, yeah.
That's dramatic.
It's rough.
itself.
And she lived with us.
My dad was, I was 28 when he had his aneurysm ruptured. He had a stroke, bleeding. He died. 5 years later, Mom got in a car wreck coming down from Twain Hart. Off the hospital. We think she had a heart attack or a stroke because there was no skid marks or anything. Just off Twain Hart grade off into the tree. So yeah, kind of the same time frame. It's tough.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. Well, after Dad passed, that was like when construction was like really slow. So we actually moved in with them for a short time and had our house renting because I wasn't working. Katie was she was working at that time.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And there in Escalon. Yeah. So that's
where I got to
that
know
was
Katie.
rough, and then we lived with my parents, and my dad he was not feeling good, So we were there. I don't know, just a couple months, and finally found out he had cancer.
What kind?
Well, I'm sure it was lung because he was a 3-pack smoker until we had
That's where it started then.
until we had grandbabies, and it was I don't know how many years me and my brother would be like, hey, quit smoking, quit smoking, quit smoking. My mom quit. My dad didn't until he had his granddaughters from me and my wife, and he stopped. And I feel like that's whenever it just took over.
The same thing happened to me when I quit chewing tobacco.
He loved those girls and he quit for them. And but anyways, we were there a few months and he was sick, wasn't working. Finally found out, and that was hard too. Sitting in the hospital and they, the doctors say, he's dying, and then your dad looking at you, and asking, am I dying? And, saying, yeah. And then he didn't want to be there, so we went home. So
You didn't want to die in the hospital.
Hospice, they brought a bed. It was pretty rough because there's where I've had to make
Peace.
a peace with my brother because I felt he could have been there and helping out too, but I felt I was taking the load, and I was the younger brother, and it could have been nice. It would have been nice, but the last night, my dad was alive, having to inject morphine in his cheek, and just
The little syringe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was rough, just being up all night, just ice. He's so hot, you know, and giving them ice water, you know, trying to cool them down, you know, because you run hot, I guess, whenever you. But
let's back up, James, a little bit.
All right.
Let's back up, and that's heavy. When you were younger, was your parents drinkers? Was there
Nope.
drinking? No,
they are now being in recovery.
right.
They are children of alcoholics.
Oh well, both of them.
Yes, I
So your
remember
grandparents
on
were-
my dad's dad.
Okay.
So he died at 52. My dad died at 52. So if you want to know fears,
You won't
I
hit
had
52.
I've had that over my head for years until finding God, and I found Him in this program. But I put that
That
on
better
my
be-
wife.
That should be on, what's that?
Fear of that, you know. And,
Fear of 52?
yeah, fear of 52.
What do you mean you put it on your wife?
When you say, you know, like I'm not going to make it, or
Right.
you know,
Yeah, just throw it. That's a burden that you don't even carry.
Right.
at one point I kind of gave up on everything, like health wise.
Right.
Because you're going to die at 52 anyway, so.
Yeah, type 2. Let my A1C, you know, I don't know how. Some people say, how are you still alive? Because, you know, I had a 14, which is,
That's off the chart.
yeah.
But he was heavy like you were.
Yeah.
Well, this was after. This
Okay.
was not that long ago. This was
Even after you
this
got
last
sober?
2 years.
While you were sober?
Yeah, because I switched.
So your diabetes stayed with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's go back. So when did you start drinking? I mean, if your mom and dad, were they casual drinkers?
My dad would have a tomato beer, and he would get alcohol-free beer, and I was like, why would it? Just drink tomato juice, you know, whatever.
Right.
But he would do it, and I mean, whatever.
So
But
his-
that's all
your-
he would do.
Right. Because he watched Alcoholic, right? His
He
parents
grew
were
up in it,
alcohol-
and Grandpa was pretty bad, and my mom's dad, that whole side of the family was pretty heavy drinkers.
Pretty
and-
aggressive.
But they had gotten divorced whenever she was a kid, so
Okay.
she.
Do you remember either one of your grandparents, or were they?
Yes, I remember my grandpa taking me and my brother,
Which one, mom or dad?
my dad's, and taking us to the store and buying us a candy bar, and he got him a 6-pack. Well, Grandma did not approve of beer or alcohol in the house, and shh, don't tell Grandma. And he'd give us candy bar, and he'd hide it and be drinking that. You know, that's one of the fond memories I remember, and him
funny.
always liking hot shit. He'd
That is
hot as
funny.
could be. I remember here trying
Spicy?
just oh man,
That's funny.
his thing was come on ice cream. You know, he'd always eat ice cream when he's done.
Where did you think and you went to Escalon High School?
Escalon, huh?
Drinking normal in high school?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I
Right.
did.
When did
I
you
had
start
a
drinking?
late career, huh?
When did you start drinking?
After surgery.
Gastric
And
bypass.
that's we've had a
that's,
switch.
that's I've wanted to talk to you about.
Now,
that
have you
'cause
listened? You listened
said
to that
it before.
episode?
Yeah,
Okay. What do you think about that?
I think it. Like you said, it is something I could do. I was like,
Right.
I was feeling better about myself.
Right.
You know, because it was always we'd go out and hang out with, you know, me and Katie were the first ones to have a house. So we were always mom and dad. Everybody come over our house,
Right.
party. I'd work, you know, early. So I'd be like, all right, just lock up when you guys leave. That was our house when we were younger, before we had kids. And, you know, Katie would drink, you know, so we'd go out and I'd just hang back, you know. I was always sitting in the background watching, you know. I didn't want to. I didn't feel comfortable getting in there, even though they were my friends. I just didn't feel comfortable with everybody, you know.
Have you always been insecure?
Yes.
Were you big in high school?
Yes.
How big? Well, how
my-
tall are you? You were 6 foot?
No, I'm 5'11".
6 foot? I'll give it to you.
6 foot,
I'll give it to you, baby.
My biggest was over 400,
Okay. Yeah, I was 418.
What do you
was
weigh
my
right now?
biggest.
You
186.
yeah.
Yeah, you could put on a couple pounds.
That's what it is, and that's what's funny.
Do it-
It's
do
like,
it- do what you
that's what's
want.
hard. That's what's hard
No.
to hear.
But if you got to put on a couple pounds,
That's what.
get
Hey, I already
build
want to.
strength.
All right,
Yes,
Build strength.
Let's
Muscle
stay
will
on
come.
path here. Good
This
God.
is path.
Okay.
it is. Hey, it is.
It is.
But we had old boy on. What's his name? The guy said there's 3 parts to a man with human beings. You know what? The physical, the spiritual.
Yes.
You know, and
Matt.
the mental.
Matt.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And there are. And
Physical.
when one of those are suffering, it pulls the other ones down a little bit. I mean, you can still function, but some of us function at a high level. But when you're not, you know, but you got to focus on and pay attention to all those to be a whole human being.
So I feel good, looking in the mirror now,
Yeah.
instead of, it took a long time to not see the big guy. You know what I mean? And when people say, "Oh, you can put on some weight," it's like, I just want to be
Motherfucker, I just got all this off.
It's like,
but
exactly.
So, and what's funny is you say that, and there's times where I was big everywhere, right?
But you're 6 foot. Well, I mean,
yeah.
not that she's 5'11", but you're all taller than me. But 6'3" carries it a little.
People didn't
Still big,
realize
though.
I was as big as I was. There's times where I wish I still had that capability to eat and to move. But even as that big, 400 some pounds, I was coaching high school football. I was playing basketball. I was playing softball. I was extremely active. Then that was a lot of another reason why the doctor said a lot of my back problems is because of how active I was.
That heavy.
That heavy. Right? I was not lazy.
I have them too now. It's like, it's weird. You're that big, and I remember I could move. I remember throwing, 80-pound bags of more, concrete on my shoulder from going upstairs, setting tubs and shower. And now I couldn't even imagine doing that because my lower back, now I got two discs. One has a rip, one has a bulge.
Be careful.
And then I got narrowing of my, nerve canal. And that's what shoots down my leg.
Shoots down your leg, yeah. When I got my hip fixed, that went away. I used to get shot, my back shot up because of that. Then my hip doctor says, and the partner, my back doctor, was next door. When Alpine Orthopedic isn't in business anymore. But Katie, who was my hip doctor? She'll get it. But he said, once I fix that, I bet you all that other stuff goes away, and it did.
Well, I think I heard before. One time when we were in Oakdale, I used to have one of the doctors you don't care for anymore. He was my doctor. Good old Quack.
No, yes. I'll choke that little prick.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's retired by now, but that's all right.
Oh, I think he's still there. I don't know how,
Okay.
but yeah.
So what year did you have your gastric bypass?
2018. So it was.
So you didn't do a lot of drinking before that.
So but you're
I remember in high school getting a beer and nursing that thing all night to act like I was cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to be
no.
like everybody
Right,
else,
right.
But I'd still be hanging back, The big guy. All the girls I had friends. They were friends.
Right. You had a lot of friend zone.
Yeah, everything was with this friend zone.
So you're drinking, and so you had gastric bypass in 2018, and that's when. How long was it until you took your first drink of alcohol?
Because that was COVID area too. It's just before.
2020.
I think it was just I don't know. Probably.
Did you have gastric bypass or did you have the sleeve?
Bypass?
So you literally had the bypass.
Is that where they stitch you? They make your stomach smaller?
Yeah. Is that what you?
Yeah, I bypassed it. Yeah. I mean, that's the big one. I mean, that's when so people like James and I, we could drink a 12-pack and in 30 minutes would just be gone out of our system.
Why
Gone.
is that?
It just goes right through our liver.
Just
It goes
flushes
right through the liver. It goes right through it. Right.
But it doesn't. It's still got to do damage on the liver. That liver's got to be working
and drunk, too.
hard.
Yes, you get you drunk, but it also goes you sober. But that's the reason why my liver was feeling so bad is because of that reason right there. I mean, I was just dumping alcohol directly into it. Right. So
And when I started, it was just light. It was just Katie'd be happy because I like tomato beers. Even you're gonna cringe.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah. You probably
Well, you got
and vodka because vodka added in there. I got
You
a
went-
Bloody
man,
Mary.
Jesus Christ! When you started, you just went straight to the.
Well, I remember we'd call it zero water because we put it in the water bottles. And I remember, I don't know, I can't remember exactly which anniversary because it wasn't a good time. Probably in 2023, whenever we had our wedding anniversary, Katie got a nice place for us to go. I can't remember. It was like, what was that place? I don't know. It was a nice resort.
Right.
And I just remember we were drinking, got too far, and I remember chugging that water bottle. That was not a good time. That was not a very good.
I got a question.
anniversary.
So she married you, got with you, heavy.
Yep.
What did she think about the weight change?
She's never judged me on any of that.
Well, I mean, was she?
Happy? Yeah.
Did she talk to you about having weight loss prior to?
No, because
it was never her decision to have the weight loss or anything like that. Yes, Katie,
I did it because I'd already lost my mom.
Right.
It's like I want I want to get healthy. I don't want to pretty much die in a chair and my kids come and find me.
What age were you when you had the gastric?
What was that? Jeez. Make me do math. I'm going to be 48, and that was in...
Okay.
Yeah, so
you're about 36 then.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Don't make me do fucking math because
yeah,
I'm the
right?
worst
I'm gonna
fucking
bust
one
my
here.
phone out.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it was 8 years ago, is it?
Yeah, it's 8 years.
So it's 40. He's 40.
Yeah, so I'm going to be 48
He's 40.
this year. Yeah, so 40.
Your math sucks.
Fuck you.
Well,
Take that math. So anyway, so you're how soon? And I think I asked this question. How soon after your gastric bypass did you pick up a drink and say, I can drink"?
Probably a year because they said no carbonation.
Right,
You know,
for 6 months.
You're gonna die if you have carbonation.
you and that fucking neighbor of yours.
Mine was 6 months.
You're
And
gonna
when
die
you
if you have
took that
carbonation. No
first-
soda, no nothing.
When you took that,
Is that
first,
why do they say that? It's not true, but
because it expands your
Yeah.
belly. It expands your the
Like
carbonation.
when you take and it bubbles up,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
It expands your belly back out, and they say no, don't do it because for that reason. So I didn't for the longest time until like I said, I walked across and they said they were drinking fucking or what's the Coors Light one? They were drinking some Coors Light, huh? Keystone. They were drinking Keystone Light, and they said, "You want this?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll try it." And fuck, it went down like butter, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, I can drink this." And that was off to the races.
Yeah, well, it took me a while because it's like I hate the taste of all of it. You know, it's like that's why I would always go
never drank for the taste.
tomato beers because it's not as bad. You're like it's disgusting. Like see on his Facebook, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
To each their own, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
So 2018, you start drinking.
Yes.
When do you, and how fast does that progress?
It was actually slow. I mean, it wasn't like. So let's see, what year was it? So we've been in our house for 4 years, so 5 years.
Well, I wouldn't say slow because let's think about it. 40, you start at 40. You're 2 years sober, so take some time off that. So 6 years you went from just start drinking to, oh, fuck, here I am. That's pretty rapid. I mean, because we don't just
True.
cross that, that line to drink alcoholically and okay, now I got to go in. We drag bottom a little bit.
Yeah, and like I was talking to you guys earlier, I hold on to everything. I don't let it out. So we were in our second house in Oakdale, and we had the thought of let's get out of here. Let's buy some houses. That's been my dream. You buy a house and flip them.
Right.
Get out of here. Buy something. So we sold our house, moved in with my in-laws. I built an apartment above the garage for me and Katie live in, and the girls stayed downstairs in her and her brother's old rooms. My father-in-law was a very heavy drinker. And that was rough because I'm like the cook. I always cook everything. So I just remember coming home after working all day, make food, be like, hey, don't eat whatever you're eating, and I'm making a meal, and it was always like, I ain't eating that shit, That was like a daily thing. And it's like,
Sound familiar, Katie?
it was just on, more and more and more of it. And it's like, I felt like I'm stuck here in their place. So I got to live under their rules, like I'm a kid again, because we still hadn't figured what we wanted to do. And then I got in my head, just, F it. And if you can't beat them, join them.
Yep.
And I remember I would go in the house, do the minimum I had to, and I was upstairs. I just cut out. And then not realizing I left my kids down there in that environment. I left my kids down there in that environment for a year.
Scary. How long? And you left there? So you lived there for about a year.
And then we found a place up in Valley Springs. We're like, it was pretty much like, I'm done here. And that's the first thing we found.
How does Katie handle her dad?
Well, he passed.
Yeah.
Did.
But
Oh, that's right. He did.
it wasn't a great relationship growing up. When we met, now I see it as it was two broken people found each other, and I wanted to save her, get her out of that environment, and she was looking for a Prince Charming to come rescue, and we're not Disney movies.
No. So when did the wheels fall off? I mean, I'm not trying to jump because there's a lot there. And as I told you yesterday, Rob and I will guide you through this a little bit. but there's a lot there, and I don't want to keep jumping back and forth. But I know somewhere along there the wheels came off, right? When did those wheels come off? And Katie was like, "You're drinking way more than I'm expecting you to."
Well, so we both drink. I mean, Katie drank before I would say she drank more than me, you know. Read by a handle of Tito's was you know, and she would come home, she would have like her different drinks and she'd mix that in there. And then, you know, I would start doing it. And then.
This in Valley Springs?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it started in Oakdale when we were living with her parents, and then Valley Springs. Just, it'd be more and more. And I'd stop at the store. I'd get the 3 tall can pack. You know,
a long ride home.
It wouldn't be on the ride home because I didn't want to get in trouble at work because I got a camera looking at me.
Oh, you're driving a company truck.
Oh, yeah. And but anyways, it was always at home. I didn't really like going out and drinking. I'd rather do it in my privacy. But yeah, it'd start off, you know, 1, and then she'd get like we'd get these other drinks, like the fruity ones, and like those would be in the garage refrigerator, and you go out there and slam one of those because it's the size of this, you know. Right. You could knock back a couple of those and still manage, you know, make dinner and then kind of drift off and hide, you know, instead of listening to everybody. And it was that a lot. And then Katie quit drinking.
What made her stop drinking?
There was some people she knew, and she heard their stories. I won't say their names.
No, that's fine.
And it made her think, if he can do this, and I can do it. Because she stopped and started a lot too. And
so she'd been wanting to stop.
Yes. And
something was bugging her about her drinking.
Yes.
Okay.
And so she quit. I did not. I was asked to slow down. I said, "Oh yeah, sure. You know, I'll slow down. I'll and that increases. You know, then it's like, oh, that 1 a day is 2 a day, then it's 3 a day, and then I'm grabbing
gains traction.
Two 6-packs of the tall cans, and I mean, you could suck them down really quick. You know, I got to where I hated the taste of it, and it was like I love the taste of it. And then you add the little extra from the handle in there. But she found recovery. I did not take it well.
When you say she found recovery, she found what we do?
Not our program.
But okay,
she's in.
I got you. Okay.
So she found her recovery, and she found the people she needed to talk to, and she was changing. And you know, Al-Anon program says, you know, let the alcoholic, leave them alone. They can take, you know, you can't change them. They have to want to change themselves.
I'm going to ask you a question, James.
They're not wrong.
Is she going to be okay with you talking about this? Because it's the only reason why I'm asking this is I don't want to start going down this road and have to do a bunch of editing. So because I got questions on that. I got questions.
Maybe I just say she's in a program.
Yeah, let's just back up and say she's in a program. Mark that at 31. The only reason why I say that is because we tried to. Anyways, let's go past that. So she's in a program. Mm-hmm. She's in a program to help her.
You're asked to cut back. You don't cut back. You fucking put on the skinny pedal.
Exactly. It's the I will, and then you don't. It's, you know, and then that's when the sorries come.
Yeah.
How often did you say those sorries?
Oh, daily. Daily.
You think you let yourself drink to that extent every day, or was she just being that more diligent?
Every day.
So you were drinking to that extent every day, or was she just being
every day? He's drinking. He's alcoholic by now. He's full blown.
So now you're full blown. Okay.
But I didn't think so.
Well, of course not.
No. Why on earth would you be an alcoholic? She's the one that's got the problem.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you quit? That was stupid.
I didn't start drinking until 2018, motherfucker. I got time.
She's watching you daily.
Oh, she's done.
Yeah, she's done.
She's done.
She's asked him to cut back, and he says nope.
She's asking you to cut back. And how long does this go on?
Over a year.
Okay.
And, you know, there was, I don't know how far we want to, you know, I want to talk about
This is your unfiltered.
But, you know, she started changing, and I didn't know what was going on because it was a total different person. And I didn't like it because I kept drinking, and it just was like cut off. It's like I had a roommate.
Right.
And I didn't like it. Well, then, you know, I have a obsession, you know. I feel like right now I've kicked, you know, alcohol. I don't have that obsession for alcohol anymore. But I feel like I have a new obsession that I took over, and it's you know, it's my wife. I'm obsessed with her. And I've heard in the meetings, John and Escalon said, you know, whenever he told the story, I'm sure you've heard it, and he's the same way. He needed to learn how to quit that obsession with his wife, and it's
what makes. And I'm gonna dig into this because, and listen, Rob and I are not doctors, we're not therapists, but I think I mean, so when I got sober, and you know, I have an obsession to my wife. There is no doubt in my mind. I have an obsession for my wife, but there becomes a point where everything becomes, you know, above and beyond, right? So when you say an obsession,
I have a text that you sent me. You were sent back and forth. It was, you know, that fat kid.
Right.
Well, I was going to ask because you were always
hold on.
He was always in the friend zone.
He was going where I wanted him to go. Say it again.
There's a fat kid, and he found a girl that liked him.
Yes.
And you're not going to let that go.
No.
That's your identity.
And I held on to it.
Yeah.
And I squeezed it.
So this is where I was trying to get to. Yeah. And so the opposite of that, right, was I was a ruthless. So in high school, I was 6'3", 185, 190 pounds. I was solid. I was solid because I was playing football. I was very, very active, and I was doing a lot of cocaine and drinking a lot. So, but I was also an arrogant, self-righteous piece of shit, right? And for me, when she married me and we got on through life, and when I got sober, right, I had to take an evaluation of why on earth would this woman stick with this piece of shit all these years? Why?
But your insecurities, you were still 190 pounds solid, but you were still insecure, but they came from somewhere other.
My insecurities were from my childhood.
Right.
Right.
You were the mistake.
Yeah, I was a mistake. I was a mistake inside of it had nothing to do with my wife, right?
Well, it had nothing to do with your weight either. Like his insecurities came from something else.
Yeah, so
it was weight. I remember.
Well, no, not his.
Oh,
not
yours.
mine. No,
yours
mine,
were.
Yeah,
his came from his insecurities. Came from something else.
But my point is, what I'm trying to get to, the obsession with your wife is, I have to, because I can drive Katie nuts with being over obsessed, right? I can. She'll get to points like enough, right? There has to become a balance, and you guys have heard, everything in life has a balance. Everything in life has a balance. And I think the thing that you struggle with the most, and once again, not a doctor, observation. I think one of the things you struggle with the most is that balance between Katie, work, sobriety, Katie, work, sobriety, Katie, work, sobriety, Katie, work, sobriety. And you can't figure out that balance. And where I feel like, and I've said this to you, you've heard me say this, and I've looked at you so many times, and I said, the problem is you're trying to balance all that, and the only thing that matters is the sobriety, right? Stop trying to balance those other two fucking things, because you trying to balance Katie and work, sobriety, Katie work. The Katie and work thing, it's gonna fucking disappear if you ain't careful because of your obsession, and you're not able to balance. I am not. None of us. I had this conversation with an extremely good friend of mine in Louisiana when I was there. I love this man to death. And we got on the conversation. Years ago, he taught me about this balance, right? Him and I got into this conversation, and we were talking about it. And so I asked him, because I haven't seen him in several years, I go, hey, Britt, did you ever find balance? And he's like, God damn, I can't believe you remember that conversation. And we talked about that for a long time. And it's an extremely hard thing to find, because when you balance to one side, you feel like you're neglecting the other side, right? So, but one of the things that I've known that has helped me with her, it's helped me with my job, it's helped me with everything, is I keep my sobriety number one, first and foremost, before anything else. Because if I keep that, and we just talked about this in the show prior to this one, I was allowing sobriety. I was allowing my surgeries, my pains, and all that other bullshit to come in front of my sobriety and my peace and my serenity.
Gotcha.
And it was knocking me completely off balance, right? Am I fixed? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. None of us in this room are ever going to be fucking fixed. Ever going to be fixed. But if you ever figure out that balance,
show me how you did it. If you ever figure it out, you fucking show me. Because I'm the motherfucker. I'm the guy swinging. I'm the guy swinging on the pendulum, and it goes too far this way, and I lean this way, and it goes too far that way, and I lean, and I've yet to find it.
But keep the sobriety.
My sobriety's first.
Yeah, the
And
sobriety
God
comes first,
always.
right? But we swing in those directions, and we have those people in our lives to remind us. You have a group right now. It's not Katie, right? It's not.
No, it's not.
And you got to let that the fuck go. Right, because as harder you squeeze on that,
but he's finally to that point, which is awesome. That's
right.
That's the crossroads he came to, and then he's over it.
Well, are you right? So time will tell. The amends to yourself. I'm going to ask you this: the amends to yourself. Where are you at with that?
What do you mean?
Have you forgiven yourself
For what?
I don't know.
Everything?
Yeah,
that's a work in progress.
It is. There's lots of things to forgive myself. I forgive myself for.
Can you look in the mirror and say you love yourself?
Now.
How recent is that?
Very recent.
Why?
Because it was brought into my view of sight. I'm not, like I say, which she does not like whenever I say I'm not a smart man. I got to have stuff explained. And, I don't say as smart. I'm a dumbass or effing
I understand
stupid.
what you're saying.
And that's not attractive. That's not attractive to a woman that when you talk down to yourself.
Right.
And that's all I've done, like my whole life, talk down to myself because
That's how you see yourself.
Yes.
That is your self-portrait.
I take what I get, like at work, I've never asked for a raise. I've bitched to my wife about it, and she's gone and got them for me because she knows more people. We'll just leave it at that.
But that's changing.
Yeah, I did. She's always been my security blanket because I don't talk. I couldn't.
You've allowed it.
I can't speak up.
You've allowed it.
Yes.
I put her there.
That's what I'm saying. You've allowed it, right?
So when did your drinking? When did you say, okay, this got to stop for me? When did you take or not even for you? When did you decide to get sober? And what was the catalyst for that?
May 22nd of 24.
Okay.
That's my sobriety date.
Love it.
Just got home from the store. I had 2 tall cans I just was put in the fridge. Get a phone call. I'm not coming home.
Katie.
Yes. And I would say that's when I broke down, like a child.
Because you were.
And like my world just ended, because she's all, I'm not coming home. And kind of just left it at that. Well, we got Life 360, so you can find out. So of course I went down Oakdale. I'm just like standing there. She was getting pizza, and I just remember standing there staring at her and just like sad puppy, like got. But that was my last drink was that day, and we talked. I told her I would leave because she ran the household, and the girls were there. So you go back to the house and I'll leave. And that's when she told me you're an alcoholic. So I was going by, she told me I was an alcoholic. I didn't know I was an alcoholic. I didn't know I was that bad. You know what I mean?
So what did you do?
Cried a lot.
Hmm?
Tried to figure out where I went wrong. Cause she was like letting go, just, I'm done, done with dealing with you. And I remember on my way home, she was at Orlando's there in Linden. Is it Linden?
That's
yeah.
wrong. Well,
No,
Linden
Linden.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was before the other one. So I go in there and she's with someone. I don't know who this someone is. And
This is gonna turn.
she
bad.
could have played it out as something to, piss me off. It pissed me off. It was just she was with a client, a customer. I was pissed. I remember she coming up, oh, this is so-and-so. And because I tried calling and texting, and I was already like,
Your mind's already
in my
spinning.
head before, like, is she cheating on me? I don't,
Or she just
where's
sick
all
of,
this coming from?
Or she's just sick of my drunk ass. But you're not thinking that because you
I'm
don't
not
think
there yet. I don't.
Nope.
I don't know that yet. But you know how between these 2 ears,
Yeah.
I got
Shitty committee. A shitty
Yeah.
committee.
Where's
yes,
that?
sir.
Yeah.
And
Where were you living at during this time?
Valley Springs.
Okay. Or
'Cause
you,
I
you
was
ended
going
up
up that
staying
way.
in the house.
No, well, this was before I left. But yeah, I moved back to Oakdale.
Okay.
To the apartment I built. So I was there, and I remember she said, "You maybe should call John from Escalon."
Yeah.
And I remember texting John. I didn't call. I wasn't man enough to call. Scared, not man enough. I texted. You know, just
Did you
hey,
know
John.
him? Did you know him before this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
For years.
Okay.
Yes, great people. Anyways, I texted and didn't get a response back, and I was like, oh, you know, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. And that's
And with
found the app.
no wife telling me what to do,
exactly.
I'm lost.
I'm lost. And then that's when I found, you know, the Oakdale meeting. All these years I lived in
Saturday?
Oakdale, I didn't even know there was an AA.
The Saturday morning meeting.
This was a Sunday. I went on a Sunday. It was I think it was Friday and the Sunday I went to a meeting. And I remember I walked around the building.
Who were some of the
like
first
3 or
people
4
you
times.
met? But without giving anonymity, but who were some of the first you give first name basis that you met
John.
in Oakdale?
Wheelchair, yeah.
Oh, that John.
That John.
Oh,
Been on him.
And I've
on the
said
podcast.
before, he talked to me, but because he couldn't get away, he couldn't
That's
get away
funny.
fast enough like everybody else after the meeting.
That's funny.
And I got introduced to the Saturday crew, the Saturday morning.
You had surgery on your wrist or something fairly early on in your sobriety too.
That was like a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was already sober for a year, and I had surgery.
Oh. So, I'm just gonna back up. I want to ask this question: when did you finally fucking decide I'm gonna be sober for myself?
recent.
Have you
After a
gotten
year?
there?
After a year.
After a year,
And you're there now.
I'm there. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been for me, but also
Well,
like you said,
and Brandon's been a big help. You know, 'cause you reached out to Brandon, you came to us, and
Yes.
this is all. I mean, he's
I
just
know.
turned a corner.
I know. I understand that, but I'm trying to get the listeners to understand. You literally went almost a year trying to be sober for Katie, right? Talk to me a little bit about that period of time. What were you going through? Tell me the anguish.
I was
Tell me-
trying to be a better man for her and the girls, not for myself.
Right. How was your
Which is not a bad thing. Like they say, what brings you to the rooms, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to keep you here is something totally different. Usually, I mean,
And it kept me there.
Yeah.
like
You
I
were
said,
there. You were
When
there.
I finally got a sponsor, I remember coming to Saturday meetings, and I told you in the car with your son. When I first met you guys, I never thought I was good enough to
commingle.
commingle. I remember this
insecurity.
little guy walk in and just strutting in and just like, man, that guy's got some. And then Larry is always F this, F, you know, you and Tom back and forth, you know. And then
that's what's kept him from the Monday group because he didn't feel worthy. Can you imagine? That's where he was at.
See, and that's what I hate about that Monday way we
but
interact.
that says more about where he was at than it does about the way we.
I understand, and so I want to go back because my insecurities, even though that I was a very cocky, I had some deep insecurities all my life.
But that's a
But I want to go back.
that's a
Besides
self defense mechanism.
I understand
Yes.
that. Besides, yes, but did you get treated bad as a kid?
yeah, my dad worked all the time.
No. That's not getting treated bad.
Let me get to
Okay.
it. And then, you know, my brother always got to be with my dad, and I was with my mom.
Okay.
So I mean, some of the things I remember as a kid working at my grandma's in the yard because we had to do everything because my dad did everything. My dad was a fixer. What did I grow up to be? A fixer. Anyways, fat kid, take your shirt off, get some sun. I don't want to take my shirt off. I don't want to show my boobs, you know? And then you got the cousins always watching, and then they'd always get me and my brother in trouble. You know, I mean, we were dicks anyways, but they would. I remember one of them acting like we made them eat dirt or something, and my dad whooped our ass. We'd get our ass whooped, you know, for anything.
Reed, your brother? Reed is your brother?
Randy.
Oh. And
So
he's
Reed
older?
would get both of us would get our ass whooped for, you know, things. And they knew how to do it because my dad did, you know, hit kids. You don't hit girls. You don't, you know, we were raised right ways, but then also I feel, you know, like Christmas, I remember Christmas time, opening presents. You set your ass in that corner, you get your gifts. Don't be like your cousins because they're tearing in and everything. You open it, you throw your garbage away. You don't open that package. That's how, that's,
yeah.
Wait, was your brother older?
2 years.
2 years older?
Yep.
Do you feel like he got to be with your dad more than you did?
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
I was a mama's boy.
How'd that, I mean, did
When
that,
my mom was, if you love me, you won't, you know, type thing, you know, and that's where I learned my manipulation.
Yep.
Because I was raised in it. When she lived with us, I mean, I love my mom, but my mom, when I look back now, manipulation onto my kids too. When she moved in with us, you know, my wife had to deal with her mother-in-law, kids, working, husband, and I'm trying to be like, what, kind of keep the balance. It was hard. It was very hard. And then my mom being on dialysis, just all that added. Then, you know, my mom was kind of the babysitter because she was there. So the kids were, oh, go do this, go do this, go do this, you know.
I think what I'm trying to dig into a little bit, James, and it's not so much, I think I'm trying to figure, I know where my insecurities came from, right? I because of the rooms of AA, do I still need to go sit with probably an outside therapist? Probably, right? I probably should. But I know where the root of mine comes from, right? Because it's how I was treated as from my dad, my brother, and my grandfather, right? So my insecurities come from that. I never had that attaboy from anybody in my life. So I worked extremely hard to try and get attaboys from anybody I could, right? Including my wife and anybody that would give me an attaboy. So that's where my insecurities came from. I think that's where I'm trying to get to to find out. I mean, as far as, so you,
I grew up I wanted to be the fixer so everybody liked me.
right? So did I.
But also I couldn't accept. It's still hard for me to accept a thank you or you did a good job because I think you're full of shit. You're just lying to me. You're just telling me that. Right. And then just, you know, my whole life of you're doing a good job and like now, or like we went to a dinner and a classmate from high school said, you look a little different. And I'm like, oh, is it the hair?
Right. He didn't realize you'd lost a ton of weight.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
that's what he was talking about, but I play it off.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
And I know my wife doesn't like that because I don't take a compliment. You know, they're complimenting you. You know, accept the goodness that's come to you, and I can't accept things.
Won't accept it.
Let me ask another question. Do you feel like when your life is going good, do you feel like the wheels are going to fall off?
The last 2 years, I've been fear, working with Brandon of her leaving again, and just trying not to do the things to make that happen.
How stressful is that?
I'm just
walking on eggshells all the time. She's gonna go. She's gonna go. But that's not what we think in the moment. And you want to do anything to prevent that because it's still, you're sober. You're not spiritually fit. We're gonna do everything to hold on to that. And the one time we ever let something go is to get a better grip on it, and you're just squeezing the life out of whatever relationship is there.
And Brandon, like Brandon said, he's all, if you have that, your God's not big enough for you.
Right. He's right. And
that's what's
that's growth.
Opening my eyes.
Right.
99% of the things that happen in my life, I can honestly say if I just say the serenity prayer multiple times, it's going to resolve itself, right? God grant me the thing, you know.
I've been in some situation where I work and it's like, oh man, this is so messed up, and I give a prayer, just a prayer, and then
answer me one question.
Yes, sir.
Because I know where your insecurities come from. It's not a goddamn mystery. And you've already said it, but how does the world look at a James, 5'11", 400 pounds? To now, well, how does the world look at heavy people? You've been both.
Piece of shit. I'll tell you this. I remember we went anniversary, Reno. I don't remember what year. Walking in the casino, just getting there, and this drunk guy walks by and he's all, "Fuck, you're fat." Even that's just like.
How did James see himself?
That
it doesn't matter what the world sees, but that's how you start. So in any little thing that comes, is gonna compound how you already felt. Mm-hmm. inside.
Yep.
How long did it take you to see James?
Recently,
Right. I mean, this is brand new.
What changed it?
the men in those rooms waking me up, opening my eyes, just talking to me actually talking.
I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't the men in those rooms.
It's God, but
thank you. The
but
relationship,
we're the hands and the feet.
I'm going to say
the relation. Thank you.
Saying.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You let go of the. And when I asked you a question a little bit ago, you didn't answer it, and you beat it around the corner. And I asked you, when are you going to start loving yourself? Right? When are you going to start forgiving yourself? When you get, those living amends that we give ourselves, or those things that we forgive ourselves of. Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I could tell you some shit that I've done to people, places, that would fucking curl your toes, right? When I'm talking about when I was a kid, when I was a piece of shit in high school, I've done some bad shit to some good people.
Yeah.
And I should be in jail for some of the shit that I've done. It took me a long time to be able to look at myself and then go, I'm okay. God's forgiven me. I'm okay. Had nothing to do with being fat. I never, ever was it the fat guy that I didn't like. It was never the skinny guy that I didn't like. It was none of that other stuff.
He's starting right now.
Yeah.
So where are you at as far as where are you at? And I may be trying to dig too deep here, and it may come out. I mean, I think what I'm trying to figure out is, when are you going to stop fucking worrying about Katie?
I've already kind of started that. Because
I'm sorry if Katie listens to this. I'm sorry if Katie listens to this.
What he's not getting is he's been gone as he's been sitting down in the Monday and the Saturday meetings and his shares. He's right there. This is where he's at. You just haven't been here to hear it yet.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been sharing this at the Monday night with the boys, and we've had a whole meeting Monday night with him.
Yeah.
That was about him. Which was awesome.
That's the one
because of why he left.
Right.
Why he left up in the hills with us.
Right.
Should have stayed the extra day.
I was there that day. I was there that day.
But we've had a few others before and after that. He's there. That's where he's at.
So what kind of conversations? And once again, like I said, I would have this conversation even if I didn't know your wife, right? It doesn't matter. And I know Katie, right? And here's the thing for me is, at some point in life, even the lady sitting behind me knows damn good and well that she's never going to get in the place of me in front of my serenity and my peace in life. It just won't happen. As much as I worship the ground she walks on, there is nothing in this world that, and I almost allowed some stuff to get in there, right? I fought it here recently, but there's still just nothing worth ever giving up that peace and that serenity. And that's where I'm thinking I'm trying to get to. And I've missed some conversations, and I think I would like to hear why have you gotten to this point? What's caused you, besides the men in these rooms, somewhere in your brain, you've had something open up, something inside there goes, I'm more important than anything. My serenity and my peace is more important than anything else.
I guess I could say she left and I didn't die.
Huh.
I didn't die. And I'm still here, and I'm still living, and I'm still doing my program. I do it way better job than I did before, because I have better. I don't want to say better men, but I have different men.
You have a better.
I'll say
as much as Larry doesn't want to give any credit to the men. Anyway, about that, I'm talking. Didn't you and Brandon have a conversation? Saying, because Brandon, you were going to ask Brandon to work the steps, and he had called me. It says, when your decision becomes, I'm going to do this for me, then we'll do the steps. If it's to get your wife back, I'm not doing this with you.
Oh, he told me.
Did he really? Good for Brandon. Good for Brandon. Yeah, so a lot of that then I have missed, and I think that's what I was trying to dig at is, you've definitely, because I've been there for a lot of conversations that we've gone back and forth with James, and, James unfortunately has been the target of a lot of, of us going back and forth.
He needed it.
He did, right?
And that's what we do. That's what the whole meeting is for.
Don't say he did. It's still work in progress.
Perhaps we're always, but right now you're at a certain crossroads.
Right.
Where which is awesome, where you need to be. For regardless of if mama comes back, awesome. For the next, like you told me, or the next one that comes in, I need to be this man anyway.
yes.
So I got to go. So I'm on this journey.
And that's where, when I listen to Brad talk about, you know, when Brad talks about Grace coming back, you know, the way he talks about it is, you know, I don't care if she comes back or not.
Well, that was his 6 months when we were standing out by the water truck, and he says, and he realized whether she comes back or not, I need to be this man because I like the way I feel. I like the man I'm starting, and then.
But that's where
2 months ago, not even 2 months ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago at the Saturday morning meeting, what did Brad say? He's 4 years sober. He finally feels like he's a man. Right. You know.
And I think that's
which is our journey.
What Brad was saying is what I'm saying is what I think it's where I'm trying to get to is that's where I've loved myself. That's where Brad loved himself. He loved himself enough to be happy right where he's at. Right. And I think every one of us has to feel that way.
Well, he started, I don't know if they're happy. And I don't know, they start loving themselves. They're willing now to start this journey for a different motive.
Yep.
The right motive.
And
on the journey to start loving themselves.
Okay. But he was happy with what he had, right where he was at. He didn't care whether Grace came back or not, right? He didn't care whether he had his job, but he didn't, nothing. The man he had become is what he was in love with, right?
Well, I don't know that, again, I disagree. I don't think he was okay with, he wasn't okay whether Grace came back or not. He was not okay, but he was willing to take whatever God had for him. Yes. And I'm going on this journey for me now.
Okay.
Am I right?
Because he learned to love himself.
Not yet. Not at that point, he hadn't. He learned to accept whatever God's got for me. I want this journey for me. Yeah, and I like the direction, and I like how I feel about me. I wouldn't say to say he may have loved himself, but that's not what wasn't the motivation.
I think that's where I think that we're just disagreeing a little bit because where I got to that point, that was when
you got
that's when I
to that
correct.
Point.
That's when I just learned to love myself. I loved the man I had become.
There are times today I don't love myself.
No, and you're right. We talked about this just a minute ago. Yeah. But what happens when on the prior episode? What happens when I don't like myself? I close her off. I close you off. I close Doug off. I close the men off. And I start secluding myself inside myself.
Because remember, love is an action word. It's how you treat yourself.
Absolutely.
If you're going to feed yourself right, you're going to take care of your body. You're going to take care of the way you look, the way you present to the world. That's love.
And you know what? And I said this in Saturday morning. It's like, dude, some of the thoughts that were coming through my head these last couple of weeks are thoughts that I had when I was drinking. And it's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Where is this coming from? And it took me a couple minutes not a couple minutes, but it took me a little bit to work through that and go, what the fuck am I doing? This is stupid. And then it took me, I had to spend some time in action, back in my books, back in, with talking with you, talking with Doug, working those actions to try and get back out of that hole. Getting back in the studio was a blessing for me. I promise that. Getting back in the studio has been a blessing for me.
But you needed the solitude.
What's that?
Mine has been opening up.
Yeah.
That's how I learned,
have a voice. He's got a voice and use it.
That's what I'm going to say. I have a voice. Because like I said, I grew up, be quiet, be seen and not heard.
Yeah, but when now I can actually. Yeah, but when do you become a man in that aspect, right?
What did I say at the other meeting? I'm looking for other. I know my worth.
Yeah,
I've always settled.
And he's in prospect.
I got like 6 of them out there.
Yeah,
praying on them.
And when God opens the door, he's ready to walk through.
Yes, and I like to be comfortable. When I get somewhere, I'm comfortable.
Right.
I just accept it.
Right.
Just whatever scraps you're going to give me, I accept it. And I've done that all my life. I've just accepted it. Accepted, you're fat. You lost weight. I never felt good about myself when I lost weight. Now I feel good about myself, Only thing that stinks is, all the other pains that come, after you start losing that weight. It's like, oh, that unmasks a lot of stuff that, all that weight was holding back anyways. Getting healthier the last year, down 60 pounds. Like I said, all my blood works. And I've seen every doctor there is out there. All the different cameras they want to stick in you and every places, you know what I mean? So,
but taking charge of your health is a man thing. All the things he's doing now.
And I would have never done it. And I would have been like, hey, Katie, can you make this doctor's appointment? Hey, Katie, can you do this for me? Will you do this? Will you go with me? I do it all on my own now.
You're living to be your own man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Larry was a drunk. He did so much. talk about a functioning alcoholic. He was functioning at the highest freaking level. He was handling all of the shit. He had a spreadsheet for our bills, and he was doing everything. He handled absolutely everything. I had no concerns until his drinking had just gotten so far out of control, and I was spinning like, what do I do here? I didn't realize what was happening, or where the money was going, or where we were at financially, and things that had happened, and decisions he had made. And I was like in the dark because I was letting him handle this because he did. It's because of what he did. I had to stand up and be like,
So
wait a second.
she sees her, you.
Yes, I do. And, you know, I had to stand up and handle what he wasn't. And then I was like, I let him do this for so long. And then my life was spinning out of control because my stability was completely in chaos. Completely. Larry was just, and I couldn't control him. I never had the control over him or what, you know, his only recourse was to go to rehab. And thank God he wanted to.
And there came to a point where if he lost his job, he was gone. She was to the point she was strong enough to say,
Can you put this back on this part? There's some sections here that I am going to keep, and there's some of this I am going to keep. But go ahead.
You know, I had to look at all of our situation. You know, our youngest daughter was still living at home. Her boyfriend was living with us at the time, you know, her now husband. But I had sat with them and said, look, I can cover this, and this, but if you guys stay, then I can keep the house.
Yeah, that's what I've been going through now.
Yeah, I was making plans to be able to do my life without him. And I'm sad that you're in that situation, but I'm glad that you're standing on your own right now because you need to. You need to be able to look at it and say, I could do this. Because your worth is so big. Doesn't matter who you were, whether you were the fat guy, whether you were the alcoholic. Doesn't mean that you were a bad dad. Doesn't mean that you were a bad husband. But you need to know who you are and stand on your own. And if you have to walk without her, then that's what you have to do.
can I tell you something else? Given your personality, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Whether you were the fat kid growing up, you would have still had the insecurity. You just laid it on that. Yeah. You would have still been this. But that's perfect. But I mean, I was waiting for her to come in.
But what she was saying, what she was saying is exactly what I was trying to get you to go to, though. Thank you, Katie. This is why she's.
No, and he's here, but
I know,
because she realizes he's right there now.
I know.
Awesome.
I was trying to get you to get to that part. What she was explaining, right, is that part of it, and think that's why that's why I keep her around.
Okay.
But we all know that's bullshit. But here's the thing too. Tell me I'm wrong, Katie, Larry. In that journey, she became a different woman.
Oh,
he didn't realize it. He's drunk. He's just drunk. But then once he got sober, now you've got two new people in a marriage that they got to learn.
What was incredible?
You know, hold on. I will say this too. The other thing is we evolve in our marriage. You were not the same people when you first got married, and then you're not the same people that you are when your girls were young. I don't even know how old your girls are, but you're not the same
22.
people. Yeah, and just wait. If they're still at home, she's going to become a whole different person even after they leave. Because
right? Oh yeah.
I mean, Rob and Bonnie.
Yeah.
You're seeing that same thing
right now.
So you evolve.
And she's starting to cling more to me. My wife is. I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know the kids are leaving, and we got plans, but you need on your own.
Yeah.
Which is just
You figure it out. You do. You have to get there, and it's hard. But you have to evolve together. And if you don't, then if you're not growing together, you're just growing apart.
Because you're growing.
And that was the part where Katie, when I first got sober, right, those first 3 or 4 months, I relied on Katie, right?
Yep.
Because she had. I mean, I was relying on her to take care of the bills. I was just trying to fucking survive, right? I was just trying to figure out life on, I was hitting meetings, sobriety. And then about 9, 10 months in, now the old Larry's starting to come back in. I need to start taking care of some bills. I need to start doing this. I need to start doing that. And then it was the buck back, right? No, I got this, right? So then it was learning the balance between, they took us probably, I don't know, probably a good 2 years to learn that balance in between of how we're going to manage this, manage the finances going forward and how to manage that. And now we're in a position to where, we've learned to live.
And are learning.
And we do every day, right? Hey, she's still dealing with an alcoholic. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care if I'm not drinking or not drinking. She still deals with an alcoholic.
Exactly.
I mean, I have alcoholic tendencies like losing my fucking mind in the middle of New Orleans because I got to take a pee and some bitch won't let me use the fucking bathroom. Sorry. I lose my shit, and I'm an angry son of a bitch. Anyways, but I still have the isms that pop up every once in a while, and I'm going to have them the rest of my life. Do I stay busy with these guys and inside the rooms of AA? You goddamn rights I do. Mm-hmm. My dad asked me a question one time, how long are you going to have to go through these goddamn meetings the rest of my fucking life?
I've heard that too.
Rest of my fucking life, right? Because I'm an alcoholic.
A guy at work. Oh. And his brother's he's one of us. So it's like,
I don't have to.
Ain't afraid.
I don't have to go to any more meetings if I don't want to. I choose now.
That's my, okay, yes.
And words matter. You know how I am. You know how I am.
It is. But I'm going to go to these meetings the rest of my fucking life, right? I am. I enjoy being around, especially the Monday night group. That's the best fucking...
Monday and Saturday morning, baby, that's all I've got.
That's the best 2 days of the week.
I'm not worried to be there. I'm not worried to be there, James, but I'm there.
I got to move. I'm not going to be here this Monday, and I hate it.
Oh, God bless.
Go fuck yourself.
It's going to be quiet.
Happy
Party time?
Yeah, party time. We're going to go through a lot
and
of
I hate it, right? But I don't miss my Saturday mornings, right? I don't miss the Saturday mornings, and I don't miss Mondays if I'm at home. And that's just the key thing. And as you grow, and Katie said it, my Katie said it the best, is you just keep growing and standing on your own 2 feet and moving forward. That becomes attractive. That becomes attractive
to whomever,
to anything.
Well, he knows that it is.
Listen,
and she's told me this.
Yeah,
that me constantly being insecure, that's not attractive.
No,
it's not to nobody. I would have never asked that prick over there to be my sponsor if he'd have came walking in nice and peacefully and quiet and sat over in the corner. I would have never asked him. You know why I asked him to be my sponsor? Because he came in there fucking 10 feet tall, full of fucking life.
Right.
I'm like, whatever that
all fucking 7 of them.
Yeah, right.
10 foot.
Whatever that fucker's got, I want that. That's attractive, right?
That's why I wear these boots. Conchetta says I got to wear these boots everywhere because that makes me 5'8", baby.
We love
gives you that
Conchetta.
half
Oh,
inch.
I love her.
But that's and it's not just attractive to your wife.
It's attractive to you,
yes.
which is who you should attract yourself.
Thank you. That's turning full circle on what I've been trying to say is when you're going to love yourself, because when you love yourself and that projects out your job, your wife, your kids, people in a fucking grocery store, people notice.
And then they're going to come up, hey, James, what is different about you? You can say, God. Well, tell me about this God, because son of a bitch, I want some of that.
I like that.
And that's it. It ain't about, what do you think I walk around? I mean, because I know, all the flexing and bullshit that I do, I work my fucking ass off to get back here. But God showed me, in 6 months, partner, cancer can take, or whatever, this goes away. But it's who you are. Right. It's what I built inside you. It's who I'm building. That's what they see. Yes. They don't see this bullshit. Yep. Nope. The little bald head, stocky guy. It's the light of Christ in me that they see. That's what's attractive.
And it wasn't just, but I'm not
don't get me wrong.
That away.
I'm hot. I'm fucking hot. It's Christ in me.
It wasn't, I'm going to be it wasn't the Christ that I saw in him at that day.
No.
I learned it, but it was.
We don't know what we see, but we see it.
I saw the happiness and the joy. And, and at 2 months sober, whatever that was that came bouncing through there. And I said this at the grocery store, at work, no matter where you at, people are going to be attracted to that, right? And that to me is if I'm walking through, I love when I go bebopping through an airport and somebody asks me about my tattoos and it gives me an opportunity to talk about my tattoos because, think about it. If you walk through there hum and glum, and nobody wants to be attracted to that. Nothing is attracted to that.
But you've changed. You've changed. It's awesome.
I've used to walk with my head down.
I know. I have noticed this part.
And now
you don't.
I keep my head to God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to do every day. I wake up, read my Bible, get my prayers, not start my day off because it used to be, oh man, I got to go do this. Oh, this is going to suck. And then what happens that day? It sucks.
because it was going to because of what we did. Yeah,
Started it. You started it.
The group text Michael every day.
every day.
Love that, man.
Every
Good
day there's a
morning.
picture or something
Love that, man.
that just helps, that elevates it.
Right.
Attitude and effort. Okay, it's not, but you're right. When I went to, because I shared this when I went and got my chip. Because Jay got his 51 years, I got my 15, which is just inverse the numbers. But when I walked in, my other Larry said, when I came from Maynard's on a Thursday and went to that meeting on Thursday, there's 3 men I want you to meet. It was Jack, Elliot, and Jay. All the men they'd have been fine, but I don't know what I saw in him. I don't know what it was. I know the light, but that guy, what I said, man, that son of a bitch feels comfortable in his own skin. Look the way he interacts with everybody. I want that, whatever it is. And when we sat down, he goes, "This is God. What you see is God." Okay, well, how do I get that? Let's go through these fucking steps.
Fuck was I at when you got your 15-year chip at primary? Why wasn't I there?
Oh, it was last Friday.
Sam
Or no,
was
2
the
Fridays
one
ago.
there, right?
Doug gave it to me. Sam was at Sunday night, Oakdale.
Okay. 'Cause
Friday
he
night,
saw,
prime-
no one was there for Rob.
Perfect.
And that's also...
No, God was there for me. That's all he cared
That's
about.
been great,
the first
too.
one.
And, but I didn't tell. But again, I didn't tell anybody I'm going to get it. I just went. I didn't tell anybody I was going to primary.
No,
I asked Doug, "Would you
normally-
please give me my chip at primary?" He said yes.
I remember, I did some of the Saturday mornings, random, voluntold, how...
Beautiful.
You know how Tom was, how Tom is? Great. He was great from the start to now. He's still... He's got my back. He's one of my peeps, you know what I mean? Full of shit a lot. I mean, you guys can back and forth.
King asshole.
But I remember when this little kid, I say little kid because, my kid's age walks in there. And I'm all, "Hey, come up here." And he sat right next to me and he told his story and how brave he was, and still is. You guys all know him. And now he sits right next to me at work and we can have conversations all day long. And he also can call me out on my shit. He waits till I realize it.
But it was because it's tough for him to do that because he loves you.
Yes.
He loves you a lot.
Yes,
I mean, the
and
way he
he told
sees you,
me.
be like big brother. When he was correcting you at the meeting, the Monday morning, or I'm sorry, the Monday evening, and he was breaking down just because it was hurting him to say it, but love made him say it. And
Absolutely.
it was
Absolutely.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, he struggled.
Yeah.
And he was true fact of what he was saying is like, why do you...
We got to get him on here too.
Why do you do that to yourself, right? Why do you do that to yourself? We are our own worst enemies. How do they say it? You can't solve internal problems with, I can't even remember, but we are our own worst enemy when we turn everything inside and we look, what am I doing wrong right now? What am I doing wrong right now? What am I doing wrong right now? And as
We're so used
I
to
know
beating
what it
ourselves up because we're,
right.
It's all the years of just doing it with myself and not
No, for sure.
with another person.
Yeah.
It's
because
just
I mean we're
disgusting in here.
judging our insides by everybody else's outsides, and everybody else is
And what
put
did I-
together, and we're lose every time.
What did I say before? If you ain't got a cast on, why are you using a fucking crutch? Right? And that's the way I judge people, and that's the reason why I never
Even though-
used a crane.
And that's all Jack
Why I
Daniels was
use a
to me was my crutch.
Right.
You just didn't see it.
I mean, that's the reason why I didn't use a cane, walking around where I should have been still on a cane. It's because I don't have but we treat people the way we judge people, or we treat ourselves the way we judge people. When we stop judging other people for the way we want to be, then we stop judging ourselves, right? What does it say? If you want to love somebody, where they're at, you got to love your faults, or I don't know how that says, but you got to love your own faults to love other people. And I have to love everything wrong about me.
I was gonna say, you just said like something that is like, if I can't love myself, how can I love someone else?
You're 100%.
Well,
I can't love
what
everything
does the Bible
about me.
say? Love thy neighbor as
Right.
thyself. Yes. Thyself comes first.
Right.
And if you don't do that, you can't properly.
You can't.
That's why my sponsor told me, how you hear in the rooms, I'm going to love you till you learn to love yourself. Fuck that. I'm going to love you till you learn to love another human being, because all you've ever loved was yourself. Right. Even though it was in a self-destructive, negative, that's what you did. That's what I did.
But once again, it's going all the way back to what I've said in the very beginning, right? When you can't love, you can't even begin to love another person or soul until you truly learn to love yourself.
At this moment, I love myself. And I know at this moment, this is today, tomorrow, right now, she's not here. She's not going to be a part of my future because I don't know, because I'm not going to future trip about it. And that's how I'm living my life. Every morning I get up, the day that she's going to be back in that house next to me, then that'll be the moment I know she's back and I can share my love with her. Right now, it's me. That's who I'm going to take care of. That's who I'm raising, trying to pull out of the fire. And I have God next to me. So I know I'm not going to burn up. But it's whenever I try to take my will back and I fall back into my head.
But now you're getting it.
But
now
I don't know anybody that says that's never gonna. They're never gonna say that'll never happen to them. They're full of shit.
They don't know.
Say that.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know. But today that's why I love about him, because he finally realizes sledgehammer's not going to open a flower, only God.
Mm-hmm.
But he's starting to blossom.
Right.
And he's going to let God do his work, and he's right there, so we get to watch it.
And that's and here's the thing where we've talked about is you're going to go through seasons of this, right? You'll go through seasons, and at 15 years, his seasons probably last 5 minutes now, right? They probably do. He still has his seasons that he goes through things.
I think you had one here recently.
You're damn right I did.
Tomorrow,
right?
Yeah, well, and I share it with everybody. Here's my season.
So,
because that's what's important. Not that we're going to go through these. How are these men? How does Rob? That's what. How does he go through it? What does he do? What we learn.
But at our maturity level where we're at, my 4 years, I'm learning to dig through those seasons, and I'm getting better at it, right? But one of the things I know of very, very, very factual is when I'm in that season, the rooms of AA and God's the only thing that's going to keep me from going. I don't chase anything else but the men and my sobriety. When I feel that hole starting to crawl back inside, I got to get in with these guys. I got to call somebody. I got to get the fuck out of there. And otherwise, that serenity, that peace, if that leaves me, God, I just can't. I just don't ever want to be there ever again.
And we don't have to.
No.
I still remember. I always remember what Tom says. You know, he's like, I'm 2 years. I'm a 2-year-old. I still got a diaper on. I still shit my pants every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm learning to clean it myself, not expect someone else to. True fact. And I know where I've gone wrong in my marriage. That's always, I need you to do this. I need you to just, put in all these things. Well, you have a life. She has her own life. Then her father passing away. All this just stacking up. Her own recovery.
Right.
Falling short on her own recovery because
so she had to cut loose one less burden.
It's just so much.
Yeah.
And then you got the fixer over here. I can just step in and fix, not asking. Just doing. That doesn't go, You need to be asked, not, asked to do something, not just take it on yourself. But I always grew up to be the fixer. Right. So that's another thing I'm learning, how
another identity change for you.
Stop being the fixer.
Yeah, that's what Katie,
and to accept not being the fixer, which is very hard for me.
But then we'll just turn that around. I'm going to help fix me. I'm gonna let God. I'm gonna do the, and I'm not gonna pray for a hole. I got a shovel. I'm gonna pray for God. I'm gonna do the work, which is weird. But so that's why I love, because all the questions he's trying to ask today is right where you are.
Yes,
and it's beautiful.
But Katie,
scary.
It's scary,
but beautiful.
About 2 years into it, Katie and I went through that same issue. Is stop trying to fix me. I just need you to listen. So now if Katie calls and do you want me to fix this, or do you want me to listen?
That's the same thing I did with Bonnie.
Right.
Is this a listen, or is this you want my opinion? No, I need you on this one. Okay, lay it down.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a woman thing, man. I mean, sometimes they just need you to listen.
Most times they do. They're fucking smarter and tougher than we are. Let's be honest.
And just shut the fuck up.
But they're all crazy too because they put up with us.
Katie,
and they're still
kick
here.
his ass. Kick his ass.
Oh, we've helped what the book tells us. We've helped make him that way.
Oh yeah.
All right, baby. You got anything else for James?
Well, I don't think you're done with his story here.
No, we're gonna come.
There's a lot
in
left
6
here.
months we got to have him back because where the man he's going to be,
right,
is going to be total, and probably the occupation he has and everything's going to be.
We're gonna be flexing up because I already got him,
Look at that.
and then you're gonna be doing it.
But you're right there. Well, the beautiful thing with cancer, when I got done, I was 139 pounds, lean. That's why it took 4.5 years to get back to a lot of hard work, but it's just stay that way, just small increments. Let's just go.
Yeah, what's funny? I just bring it up because like Larry might know my boss, and then it's like, oh, has he got cancer or something? Or is he dying or something? It's like, what the?
Oh, when I asked,
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no, just because I lost weight.
You had been gone. You'd been gone, and then when you came back, your hair, you just shaved all your head off, and I'm like,
Looks beautiful, baby.
I asked your boss, I'm like, hey, is he okay? Anyways, that was fun.
He's better than
it's
okay.
just funny. It's like,
and he's
No,
going to
that
get
was-
better
that
because where
was-
you're at. Because I had to be there. I was the same way. I had to
It's
get there.
been fun to watch, but
So that's the sad. So here's the sad shit. In 15 years, if you stay with this journey, you're going to end up a lot like me. Sorry,
but good
so
God.
don't be sorry.
because I do this. I do the same thing. Where you're at.
The reason why I like to ask why, right? I love the word why. You know, and that's why in the beginning of this, I kept asking, kept digging. You're right. I'm not in the meetings. You had answers that I didn't have. I was trying to get to the answers. Katie brought in some of that and how I bring that back together with cutting out some stuff that we need to cut out. I don't know, but there was a lot of stuff in there that is good. You're in a good place because you do love yourself. You are putting yourself first, right? That's got to be the number one thing. Your sobriety has to come before anything else. Your sobriety, and then God is right there, right? Because God's controlling
Same
that.
thing.
Same thing. And then everything else will just follow. There is no reason to put anything else in order. There's nothing else.
He will. He'll order it.
Oh my God! Because the minute you say God, bye, you start placing orders. He's gonna go.
Yeah,
Let me fuck this up for you.
exactly.
You want to make God laugh? Just tell him your plans.
You know, and that was one of the things I always used to tell my kids: make sure you got your priorities in order. And I can just, I can still hear myself telling my daughters that.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to leave room for God's grace.
Yes, sir.
And God's hand.
Yes, sir.
You know, we still plan for tomorrow
Right.
if it's going to come, but he's going to turn. Well, if Larry wakes up, the sun comes up, so we know we're
Right.
good.
But you like your picture of Abigail over there?
I love it. I love the look too. Like, oh, you guys, we look at.
That's-
We were getting ready to get busy, and then you fuckers took
That's
this
his
picture.
caller ID picture.
I need to make it that.
All right, baby, get us out of here.
Thank you for listening to the Recovery Unfiltered podcast. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast@gmail.com.